आणि नंतर तिथे सोडत म्हणून लेट झालं नाही तर आम्ही पाठची टॅक्सी पकडली कुठे थांबलेले तुम्ही अच्छा अच्छा हा डायरेक्टली आलो तुला माहिती
Hello everyone. So today okay. Just a minute. Okay, that's so yesterday we had an idea on what is random variable, and then we were also talking like some of the terms, right? So we'll just discuss those terms once again, and like the idea is already done about the random variable. So let's discuss this, and then we'll continue. So random variable is like that kind of value which you are expecting, and it can be counted or like it depends on the outcome of the experiment, right? So it's not like how many six you have. It's like the outcomes will have what values. So the one of the example we had was like number of heads in toss of a pair of a coin, right? So you had head, should be head or head tail or tail head, or it was tail. So likewise, you saw that the number of heads were 0, 1, and 2. So these values which you see actually, like here, these are the possible values of your random variable. So random variable which you generally like represent by x, y, and z also. So you can say that like this set will have the values like 0, 1, and 2. These are the possible values of this. Like now, if I say what is the probability of getting a value of x to be, let's say, -1. So it'll say it's simply 0. Or let's say if I'm saying what is the probability of getting x equal to 3. So it'll say 0 again, right? These values don't exist. So if they don't exist, they'll not come. And therefore, it is going to be 0 only. Fine, like that. And so the density, what was density? Like in this case, you saw your head, tail, and tail head, like there were 2 of the outcomes out of 4 outcomes. So 2 of 4, that was like 1 by 2 or 0.5 or 50%. So x equal to 1 has a density of 50% or 0.5, like that. Fine. This is the idea. Tail, that is x equal to 0, will have let's say 25% or 0.25. X equal to 2 will again have 25%. So, right. So these are the densities. Like what are the possibilities? What are the chances or likelihood of getting that value of x? So it's not about getting the outcome head tail. It is not about getting the output tail head, but they all come in the same category, and that is the random variable we are talking about. That is x equal to 1. Fine, like that. Okay, so this could be discrete, of course. The value could be discrete, the value could be continuous. Let's say if you're talking about number of accidents, number of deaths, number of like population, any discrete values, number of coins having head, or number of this and number of that. So there are certain values which will be like in discrete terms, and there will be like number of red balls, number of white balls coming out, and all that. So these are discrete values. So for that, you will be following your discrete continuous distribution. All those will learn one by one. And let's say if there are talking about the value of x, let's say the value is continuous, let's say from -5 to 5, normal distribution. So we'll see that the values could be continuous. So in that case, you can say, okay, these are the values which will be continuous. So in that case, it could be 0.5 also, 0.25 also, and everything like that. Right? Yes, sir. So in that case, it's like, of course, you cannot add the values. Like we were discussing about distribution, right? So you cannot add such values. We'll have to integrate. You'll have the graph from, let's say, some value to -1 to 2. You'll have to integrate. Whereas when it is about discrete values, you can like -1, 0, 1, 2. So whatever densities you have, you can add them, right? So density f of x, small f of x or small p of x, probability mass function is same, but it is used only for discrete values. So even like if they are talking talking or discussing about probability mass function, that clearly means they are talking of discrete random variable. It cannot be continuous. And like we have seen, if I'm saying what is the p, what is the value of p of a, that means the probability of getting your x equal to a. Now, apart from that, what is distribution? So up to that value, right? Up to that value. So let's say if we are talking about f of 1 in the case we were discussing, like the case that two pair of coins and all that. So in that case, we were talking about f of 1. In that case, that means probability of sum of the probabilities. Like if I'm saying x less than, let's say x less than equal to 1. So that means it can be x equal to 0 also. It can be probability of x equal to 1 also. As the reason is we don't have any negative values or any values other than like less than 1, which is any other values. We just have only 3 values, that is 0, 1, and 2. So up to 1, up to 1. So it has to be 0, it has to be 1. It cannot be 2 like that. So you'll have to just add all the probabilities up to that value. This is how it works, right? Similarly, if you're talking about some interval, that means the distribution, like capital F of x means distribution. So this is cumulative distribution. This is also cumulative distribution. So you need to find up to that. Let's say they are talking about less than equal to b. So less than equal to b means up to this value. You're starting from the lowest possible values. You'll go up to this. You'll add all of them. And let's say they are now talking greater than a. So greater than a means you don't count it. Fine. So that means you need to count up to this and then subtract. Why I'm counting on a? Because a has to be up to a has to be excluded. That's why I'm counting on a. And then what we will be left with is, let's say, these values. These are like, let's say these values were C, D, E, and F. Like that. So for all these four, the densities together will give you. If you can do it directly without doing f of b minus f of a, select those four items, find the density, and just add them like that. Otherwise, you'll have to find f of b, f of a, and then subtract it. So it depends on what you can do. Right? It depends. What are the possibilities and what are the data given like that. Now next, discrete distribution, it's already discussed. This part is discussed. We have already discussed about it. Okay. And then probability density, this is also clear. If I say P of J, that means for X, which is equal to J. Like, let's say, this is just numbering, like first term, second term, third term. Aisa kuch usme different nahi. And anything which is out of, like I said, no, anything which is out of your, like in this case, it was 0, 1, and 2. Anything out of these values, the probability for that, the density of that value will be 0. That is what it is given. Okay. And this is also discussed. Maybe dekh liya hame. Distribution. So distribution is like summation up to that value, right? If you're talking about f of x like that. Now, of course, when you are adding something and these densities are non-zero values. So let's say you started from, let's say, -1, then 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, and something like that. So you are either adding 0, let's say if the densities for some values are 0, or there are some finite values, let's say 0.25, 0.5, and so on. So that means if you keep increasing your f of x for like x equal to -1 tak, or 0, or 1 tak, you are continuously adding something to it, or maybe you are adding 0 to it. You're not adding a negative value. That means the function has to be non-decreasing. It can be constant or it has if distribution is continuous, distribution function can be integral. Right. So I like I said, we discussed all things about the continuous variables, discrete one. Let's say if it is continuous. So in continuous, you cannot just start counting and adding all of these values. It could be 0.5 also, it could be 0.51 also, 0.52 also, and all those values. So they're not discrete values which you can find and add the densities for that. So in that case, you'll have to do the integration, right? So in that case, your distribution is going to be integration up to that value. Let's say it is u. So you start with negative infinity. If at all it is defined from negative infinity. If it is defined from some let's say some value, let's say -5 to infinity, then your integration will cut down to -5 to that x value. And of course, x has to be greater than -5, like that. So it depends. It doesn't always have to be negative infinity. It just means that whatever value, the least value, the value which is on the leftmost value, that like that. And of course, when you differentiate this function, you'll get this function. Yani ki f of x, small f of x, density is distribution of your derivative of your distribution. This one is quite clear, right? For discrete, you'll just add it. For continuous, you'll be doing the integration for that limits and like that. And also, so these two parts are like similar, just the basis is that one of it is continuous and one of it is discrete. Similarly, these two are also on the same base. The idea is, if you like, you have got like, just think of it, the values of x equal to 0, 1, and 2. Where are you getting this from? You are getting this from the sample space, right? Like x equal to 0, tail will give you x equal to 0 for the number of heads. Tail head and end tail is giving you x equal to 1, and head is giving you x equal to 2. So basically, you are considering your entire sample space, and depending on that, you are counting or finding what are the possible values of x. And now, if you start adding the densities, it's like you are counting or considering the density of your sample space. So ultimately, if you add all of it, you should get 1. And similarly, if it is continuous, the infinity, negative infinity integration should also be 1. And like I said, it doesn't have to be negative infinity to infinity. It depends. The limit could be from -5 to 5. So that integration from -5 to 5 of the distribution or density function should give you 1. If the function is defined only for this limit. Like that. That's it. Right? These are important. Like these information is required because you'll have questions on this. Right? Of course. Okay. Okay, fine. So let's move to the question part. Abhi dekhte hain questions ko isme. And I may need some extra questions also. Let me see. We'll see which questions needs to be discussed today. Like first, and then afterwards the next question. Just give me a second. Check. Let me just check. Okay, you don't have to do this question. Don't solve this. Don't solve this. Solve this. Try this one. And I'll of course give you more questions. You need to try this question, okay? Consider random variable x taking values 1 and -1, probability each being 0.5. The value of cumulative distribution function at x equal to -1 and 1. It's simple. but I'm just expecting that one of you should answer me. And meanwhile, I can get you more questions, more interesting questions. Anyone, please try. जितना अभी इतना कुछ बोला है उसी के ऊपर है और इनफैक्ट एग्जाम्पल के साथ बोला है तो वी हैव ऑलरेडी काइंड ऑफ डन one question on that. C option is correct. Thank you. C option is correct. See, it says that X is taking two of the values. And of course, like I said, you start with the least value and then you go up to your the like highest values and like that. So let's say this is X, this is P of X. The values which it is going to take is +1 and -1. So -1 and 1, yeah, +1. Probability for each is 0.5. So 0.5, 0.5. Now, if you have to do the distribution, that means you will be adding the values up to that. Fine, adding the value up to that. So if you consider X equal to like f of X, this is like f of -1, this is f of 1. So f of -1 means you need to add the density up to -1. You don't have anything less than that, so no more addition. It's just the density of your only X equal to -1. So this will be equal to P of -1, which is simply 0.5. If you talk about distribution at 1 and the value is less than that, so that should be P of -1 plus P of 1. So that becomes 0.5 plus 0.5, which is 1. So of course, this is C, which is 0.5 and 1. Fine. It was like that. So cumulative distribution function, f of X, capital F of X. Density is P of X or small f of X. X is your random variable. So you need to arrange your random variables, of course, first, right? This is how you need to proceed. Yeah, try this one. Try this one. It says you need to find the probability for X being 0.5 to 5. So you can clearly see this is about a continuous random variable. First of all, it is about continuous random variable. And if you're talking about P of 0.5 to 5, that means you need to integrate your P of X or F of X, anything. In this case, it is F of X, so write F of X. X equal to 0.5 to 5, like that. That's it. This is what you have to do. Now you can see this is the range for like X being greater than or less than equal to 1. So if you want, I'll write the function again. F of X is 0.2 if your X is between -1 to 1. And it is like अगर आप ब्रेक करोगे, अपने को सिर्फ पॉजिटिव से मतलब है, लेकिन फिर भी मैं बता दे रहा हूँ -5 से 1 तक और -1 तक and 1 से 5 तक, like that, and otherwise. So this is also 0.1, right? So we are concerned with 0.5 to 5. That means we need to break it. Of course, आपने definite integration में rules पढ़ा था, आप उसको break कर सकते हैं, right? Interval को break कर दिया. That means your probability for X, like सीधा X लिख रहा हूँ, ठीक है? इसको मैं कुछ और लिख देता हूँ. Probability of Y लिख देता हूँ. ये जो X की condition है, उसको मैंने Y लिख दिया. उसमें कुछ लिख लेना पड़ेगा. 0.5 है ना? 0.5. So 0.5 to 1 f of X dx plus 1 to 5 f of X dx. So first case mate is 0.2, second case mate is 0.1. 0.2 from 0.5 to 1. And 0.1. 1 to 5 dx. Let's just check. I think please check it. Please check your answer once again. So the limit, the integration should be 0.2 times of, the integration for both the cases will be x. So I'm just putting the limit 1 minus 0.5 plus 0.1 times of 5 minus 1. So this is 0.5 of 0.2 will be 0.1. Yeah, 0.1. And 4 times of 0.1 should be 0.4. Is it? Okay, one second. This should stop at 4. 1 second. I did one small thing wrong here. ये जो limit है 4. This is -4. This is 4. So we should stop at 4. There's one more break in that. Let me write that also. मैंने वो limits गलत देख लिया. 4, and then let me just do some small changes here. There should be one more term, that is 5, 4 to 5. And it is in the case of otherwise. So it should be 0 dx. Now it's fine. So I wrote that limit incorrectly. You should make that change. 4 minus 1. So that means now it's fine. So it's going to be, this should be 3. Okay, 0.3. So 0.3 and 0.1, 0.4. Please check your answer. 0.45 is not right. 0.4 is right. Maybe अगर आपने मेरे वाले को कुछ follow किया और गलती कर दी तो हो सकता है ऐसा. उसके लिए मैं आपसे माफी मांगता हूँ. आ गया ना? बहुत अच्छा. So fill in the blanks है तो 0.4 सीधा सीधा लिखता हूँ. Right? मैंने वो limits थोड़ी सी गलत लिखी थी. 4 तक है वो. Okay, so this is how like distributed and finding direction. That's it. UX density ये मत बनाओ. Percentage ये बना लो. बस ध्यान रखना परसेंटेज प्रोबेबिलिटी पूछा है, ये बन जाएगा. Right? -1/3 to 1/3 will actually completely belong or will fall into this category, first category. Okay, -1/3 or 1/3 is category. So this probability of y, I'm writing it y again. -1/3 to 1/3 f of x is x square dx. अभी देखो x square जो है वो इवन फंक्शन की प्रॉपर्टी यूज कर देते हैं, 2 टाइम्स लिख देते हैं. जरूरत तो नहीं है, बट अगर प्रॉपर्टी आती है तो लिखो. So 2 times of x cubed by 3 with the limit 0 to 1/3. So अगर आपने 0 डाला तो 0 और 1 डाला तो 1/27. So that should be 2/81. लेकिन fill in the blanks again. So इसकी वैल्यू निकाल लो. Find me this value 2/81. Okay. .02469. Now you can see एक आंसर दिया हुआ है सर, जो उसमें 0.246947. फिर इसको into 100 कर दिया. Your question is read it carefully every time. जब भी आंसर को टिक करने जाओ, mark my words, जब भी आप पूरा क्वेश्चन बना लो और वापस सॉल्यूशन में उसको टिक करने जाओ या फिल करने जाओ, तो एक बार ये जरूर देख लेना कि पूछा क्या था. यहाँ पर अक्सर लोगों की गलती होती है. 2-3 मिनट तक क्वेश्चन बनाना चालू करते हैं और भूल जाते हैं कि अपने को निकालना क्या है या उसमें डालना क्या है क्वेश्चन में. दिस इज अ वेरी कॉमन मिस्टेक. ठीक है, मैं करता हूँ, आप छोड़ो. तो he should always read कि उसमें क्या पूछा, what are they asking. So they are asking you the percentage value, so it needs to be multiplied with 100. So that should be 2.47 कर दे रहा हूँ approximately. So 2.47 is the percentage value, that is B. Before like clicking or choosing or filling the blanks, you should always read at last one more time what are they asking you. This is one good habit. I can tell you like छोड़ जाना, मैंने गलती करी, मेरे भी मार्क्स कुछ जगह कटे हैं, ठीक है, तो आप मत करना ऐसा, सबके साथ होता है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, बट ये नहीं करना. Find this value, it is an interesting question. ये तो बनाओ यार, कहाँ आप लोग बना नहीं रहे? Are you getting it or not? Guys, एक तो क्लास के मिड तक जाते जाते बच्चे कम हो जाते हैं, पता नहीं कहाँ चले जाते हैं लोग. चलो डू इट, आते आते वो अटेंडेंस लगा के चले जाते हैं. हाँ? चलो वरद यादव, सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. देवर्षि, प्रियंका एंड चंचल, चलो सॉल्व दिस प्लीज. लास्ट में जो दो चीजें बताई थी ना, उसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है ये क्वेश्चन. It says find the value of lambda such that the function f of x is a valid probability density. So a function to be valid, let's say if the, like you can see, आपकी लिमिट से आपको हमेशा पता चलेगा कि फंक्शन कंटिन्यूअस है या डिस्क्रीट है. So you can see 1 to 2 and like all values between 1 and 2 are included. That means it is continuous random variable. If it was 1, 2, 3, 4 ऐसा, it will be discrete. First thing. Second thing, if it is a probability density, the integration from minus infinity to infinity of f of x dx needs to be 1. But now our function is not defined from minus infinity to infinity. It is just defined from 1 to 2. बाकी की वैल्यूज क्या है? 0 है, तो मैंने उसको कट डाउन कर लिया और सिर्फ इतनी वैल्यू 1 होनी चाहिए, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. अगर आपको ये समझ में आया तो अब आपको सिंपल इंटीग्रेशन करना है. लैम्डा इज अ कांस्टेंट, सो आई एम टेकिंग इट आउट फ्रॉम f of x and writing it as x minus 1 times of 2 minus x dx. So you can expand this for your easier, like easy integration. This is minus x square minus x and 2x, so plus 3x if I'm right, है ना. माइनस माइनस प्लस हो जाएगा और 2x वहां से आ जाएगा 3x और minus 2 dx. ये इंटीग्रेट करना है if I'm right, yeah. So integration minus x square is lambda times of minus x square का हो जाएगा minus x cube by 3, 3x का हो जाएगा 3x square by 2 minus 2x, limit 1 to 2 equal to 1. Now at least you can find me the limits, I mean the value of lambda. Six is correct, thank you. So it is minus 8 by 3 plus 4 and 12 by 2 minus 2 minus of minus, so plus 1 by 3 minus of 3 by 2 minus and minus, so 2 equal to 1. तो ये माइनस सबको कॉमन कर दो, क्या कट डाउन तो कर ही लेंगे. तो मैंने लास्ट टाइम गलत लिखा है कि -2 लिखा है और 2 के लिए -4 होना चाहिए. ऐसा 4 3 12 by 2 फाइन. -8 भी 3 -7 by 3 हो जाएगा. ये हो गया 6 -4, ये तो हो गया -1.5 and plus 2, so ये हो गया 5.5 0.5 plus 2.5. ऐसा अगर इसको ऐसा नहीं लिखना हो तो 2.5 को 5/2 लिख देते हैं इक्वल टू 1. तो ये कॉमन बेस लिया 6, सो -14 माइनस में आ रहा है प्लस 15, हाँ अभी सही है. लैम्डा इक्वल टू 1, so lambda by 6 is 1, so lambda is 6. again, so 6 is correct, thank you. और आई गेस आप सबका भी ये आ गया होगा अभी तक. है ना? So the only important thing is that you need to make it like the condition, the validity condition is that the integration should be like from whatever value it is defined, the overall integration should be 1, right? And if it is discrete, the addition of it should be 1. The idea I have, right? Okay. This one. Chalo, ye solve karo. Solve this one. Guys, Shrimanta, कौन आप यहाँ पर? You guys here, right? ऐसे प्राइवेट मैसेज ऐसे करो, डायरेक्ट मैसेज, प्लीज आंसर ऐसे करके, है ना? मोर चलो, कंसीडर द फॉलोइंग प्रोबेबिलिटी मास फंक्शन. पीएमएफ बोला है, मास फंक्शन बोला है, तो बाय डिफॉल्ट आप समझ जाओ कि ये डिस्क्रीट के लिए बोल रहा है. और अगर आप ये वैल्यूज देखेंगे x equal to 0, x equal to 1 and otherwise, this is also saying that we are talking about a discrete random variable. First thing, now it says q is 0.4, so p of x with 0.4 will become how much? 0.4 if x is 0. 1 minus 0.4 is 0.6 if x is 1 and 0 otherwise. ठीक है? What did I do? मैंने उसी टेबल को देखकर x equal to q equal to 0.4 के लिए सब कुछ लिखा. अच्छा, वेरिएंस का क्वेश्चन है, चलो यहाँ तक समझ जाओ, वेरिएंस बाद में बनाएंगे, अभी बनाएंगे थोड़ी देर बाद. हाँ, ये बनेगा. So this one, it is based on what we did in the previous question, similar to that. It's just that it involves some integration. So I hope I'll give you 2 minutes. Please try. Like if you're thinking कि मैं यहाँ बैठूं, I don't want you to be, of course, I don't want you to be dependent. और आप ये सोचकर बैठे कि मैं बनाता रहूं, आपको अच्छा लगे, तो ऐसे मैथ्स नहीं बनेगा. You'll have to use a pen. Everybody should try. It's not like if you're doing right or wrong. If you do it wrong once, twice, then only you'll start thinking कि क्या गलत हो रहा है. I don't know why. I mean, I don't mind you people giving wrong answer. मतलब ऐसे randomly नहीं बोलते ना, सर B है, सर C है, कुछ भी मत बोलते. Try करो, try it and answer something. If you're not trying it, I don't know. It's not a good sign. I like the confidence which I usually like come up with कि आप, let's say if it is for 15 marks, if your maths is for 15 marks, you can score more than 12 and 13. So that can only come when you start solving along with me and after like the sessions. At least like 1 hour or 30 minutes, anything regularly. Like if you have started now for your next year examination. So, क्योंकि क्या होगा? There's one bad thing is like maybe by end of the Feb you'll be done with your this chapter, this maths, and then if you don't pick your subject again and revise, then by end of July you'll be at the same position where you started from. कुछ याद नहीं होगा ऐसा करके. So keep revising, keep practicing. So again, minus infinity to infinity, that means minus infinity to infinity, k e to the power of minus alpha mod x dx needs to be 1. So I can break it minus alpha minus infinity से 0 तक अगर मैं करूंगा तो k तो बाहर ले ले रहे हैं, ठीक है? एक बार k भूल जाओ या फिर बाद में देखेंगे ऐसा करके. अगर मैं नेक्स्ट लाइन में k ना लिखूं तो परेशान मत हो. So e to the power of minus alpha. So mod x is negative x for x less than 0. So I can write, therefore, negative alpha mod x will become alpha x. Negative of alpha and negative of x. So that will directly become alpha x. So this is alpha x dx. Fine. Similarly, C is correct. Thank you very much. आप बनाते रहो, मुझे ऐसे अच्छा लगेगा. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अंशुल, thank you. Okay, so 0 to infinity again. So अभी क्या है? Mod x will be x for x greater than 0. So minus alpha x जो है mod x, वो सिर्फ minus alpha x रह जाएगा. So e to the power of minus alpha x dx should be 1. k आपका है वहां पर, ठीक है? k है, भूलना मत. मैं भूल जाऊंगा लेकिन आप मत भूलना. e to the power of alpha x का जो इंटीग्रेशन है वो होगा e to the power of alpha x by alpha limits negative infinity to 0 plus e to the power of minus alpha x का हो जाएगा by minus alpha the limits 0 to infinity equal to 1. यहाँ पे k है, ठीक है? Okay, है. So do you see that? Let me continue here itself. If you put the limits 0 for your this one, this will become e to the power of 0, which is 1. And if you put negative infinity, e to the power of minus infinity, considering alpha is शायद दिया होगा पॉजिटिव वैल्यू है, नहीं दिया है, देना चाहिए. अल्फा अगर पॉजिटिव वैल्यू है यहाँ पर तो e to the power of minus infinity alpha times of infinity आपको 0 मिलेगा. So this is 1 by 0 by alpha. And in this case, when you put alpha in x equal to infinity, it is e to the power of minus alpha times of infinity, which is again 0. Negative infinity की तरफ चले जा रहा है value. Minus. When you put 0, it will be 1 by minus alpha. Right? So there is a plus sign k equal to 1. So that means it is 1 by alpha minus minus cancel okay plus 1 by alpha. So k times of 1 by alpha plus 1 by alpha equal to 1. So that is like 2 alpha. So k will become alpha by 2. यही आया क्या? 0.5 alpha. Option C बोला ना आपने? 0.5 alpha. ठीक है? एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्राफ में ऐसा नहीं होगा, इससे अच्छा होगा. एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्राफ में जब आप नेगेटिव इन्फिनिटी की तरफ जाते हैं तो आपका e टू द पावर ऑफ माइनस इन्फिनिटी एक्चुअली 0 की तरफ जाता है, और अगर आप e टू द पावर ऑफ इन्फिनिटी की तरफ जाते हैं तो आपकी वैल्यू इन्फिनिटी की तरफ जाती है. ये ध्यान रखें आप.
सर आपने e की पावर माइनस इन्फिनिटी
दोनों तरफ लिख दिया क्या? प्लस लिख देता हूँ, सॉरी, थैंक यू. प्लस इन्फिनिटी, इन्फिनिटी की तरफ जा रहे हो तो वो वैल्यू भी इन्फिनिटी की तरफ जाए. थैंक यू. ओके, आई गेस दिस इज क्लियर. ये कुछ बेसिक है जो मैंने साइड में बता दिया, क्योंकि हो सकता है यू पीपल आर गेटिंग वहां पे इन्वॉल्व होकर आप फंस रहे होंगे, इसलिए मैंने इन्फॉर्मेशन दे दिया. ओके, दिस इज अ क्विक क्वेश्चन, यू कैन डू इट. फटाफट बना दो, ऐसा मतलब मैं नहीं बना, या तो आप बना दोगे 1 मिनट में, 1.5 मिनट, और या तो फिर मैं छोड़ दूँ. And of course I have the like, बताओ फिर मैं बताता हूँ. आप बता दो, आप ही के लिए बस, ये मेरे लिए नहीं. बी इज करेक्ट. थैंक यू असीम, ये बिल्कुल सही जवाब है आपका. एनीबडी एल्स? एक आंसर आ गया है. थैंक यू प्रियंका. एक और टिक आ गया. गुड. तीसरा टिक. अब कोई भीड़ में ऐसे भी बोल दो एक बार. राइट. चलो 3 तो सही आ गया. ये बस आप ही के लिए, मेरे लिए तो है. ये क्वेश्चन मैं आपको बता दे रहा हूँ 2017 का क्वेश्चन है. आई गेस या 1 मार्क्स का होगा या 2 मार्क्स का, मार्क्स नहीं मुझे पता. ओके, दिस वाज अ क्विक क्वेश्चन. ऐसा क्विक टाइप का होता है ना जो फटाफट बन जाता है, ज्यादा इंटीग्रेशन नहीं, कुछ माथा मारी नहीं थी. मतलब इंटीग्रेशन था, बहुत सिंपल था. e टू द पावर ऑफ माइनस अल्फा देख के परेशान हो गए बस. ओके, थैंक यू. 3 आंसर्स आए हैं और 1-2 लोग हैं जो रेगुलरली आंसर करते हैं. मैं हो सकता है आप भी आंसर कर ही दोगे. 2 more, like I can expect 2-3 answers more. चलो, mean value of the outcomes. mean value अभी हमने देखा नहीं. ओके, दिस इज सिंपल राइट. 1 to 4 है तो उसको 1 to 4 तक, 1 to 5 तक डिफाइन है तो 1 to 4 तक इंटीग्रेट करें. राइट, ऐसे 1 to 4 तक f of x dx बस. ये जितना आ जाए, ये f of x 0.25 बस कर दो. इसमें कुछ बताने वाला, ये बताऊंगा बाद में अगर टाइम मिला तो. और ये सब ठीक है. चलो, नाउ डिस्क्रीट के भी कुछ कर लिए और कंटिन्यूस के भी कुछ कर लिए. ठीक है, कंटिन्यूस के लिए मेरे पास कुछ और क्वेश्चन, डिस्क्रीट के लिए सॉरी. एक सेकेंड दो आप मुझे. x इक्वल टू 1, ठीक है. 1 minute. Square. Okay, let's look into this. A question here. I'll see if I can discuss it today. नहीं हुआ तो बात नहीं. Let's see this. So now we'll look into the topic expected value and variance. ठीक है? Let's see this. तो यहाँ थोड़ा सा आइडिया दे लेते हैं, फिर क्वेश्चंस पे जाएंगे और क्वेश्चंस बनाएंगे. अभी कुछ चीजें वो भी देखने की कोशिश करेंगे. एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू एंड वेरिएंस. तो बिफोर आई गेट इनटू दिस, आपको अभी तक एक चीज जो अभी तक पता है वो ये है, let's say you have some of the outcomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So give me a minute. सो फार आपने देखा है कि 4-5 वैल्यूज होती है उसकी फ्री, और उन सबको ऐड कर देते हैं, डिवाइड कर देते हैं, तो आपको डेंसिटी या एवरेज वैल्यू मिल जाता है, राइट? बट व्हाट इट इज एक्चुअली इज, ये जो आप 1/6 कर देते हो, कॉमन ले लेते हो, ये एक्चुअली 1/6 टाइम्स ऑफ 1 प्लस 1/6 टाइम्स ऑफ 2 प्लस सो ऑन अप टू 1/6 टाइम्स ऑफ 6, ऐसा कुछ होता है. यानी कि ये जो 1/6 का फैक्टर है, ये सबके साथ अलग अलग मल्टीप्लाइड है और फिर आपने ओवरऑल ऐड किया है. ये है क्या? अभी तक जब भी आपको डेटा दिया जाता है, whenever you are provided with data, you just add it and then divide it by the total number of data, right? But when you are into probability and you are talking about expected value, it means, or average value, it means you'll have to consider that what are the chances of getting that value, right? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What if the chances of getting 4 is more than getting a value of 2? So you cannot just add all of them directly and divide it by the number of terms, let's say 6. In this case, it should be multiplied with its weight. So what is that weight? That weight is like what are the chances of getting that value? Overall, like if you consider the chances of each of the values together, that will be 1. But now if you're talking about the mean, it means that you need to multiply each of the values with its density, probability density. हो सकता है कि 1 के आने के chances 0, although आपके ये डेटा में लिखा हुआ है कि ये वैल्यूज आनी चाहिए, but the chances is 0. So why will be considering it? You will just multiply with its density, that is 0. So this is a weighted average we are talking about, and that weighted average is like for discrete case is given as summation of product of your random variable and its density. And if it is for the continuous random variable, it should be integration always. When you're talking about continuous, it is going to be integration. So integration of product of x and its density again. Fine. This is how you find the mean. Now let's talk about the variance. Variance में एक चीज क्या है? Variance, जैसा कि the word itself says, and it has been written here also. It is a measure of spread of the possible values of random variable. So what is spread? Spread is like, let's say in your class, let's say everybody is scoring around, let's say 60 marks. Everybody is scoring around 60 marks. So the variance will become less because all the marks will be close to 60. Let's say 57, 62, 58, 61. All the values are close to 60. And let's say some of them are scoring 60 also. But then, so your overall average will be somewhere around 60 only. But let's say there is another standard, another division, and there some of the people are really good, but some of the people, the students are not doing well. So let's say they're scoring 90 also, some of them are scoring 90 and some of them are scoring 30 also. But still, let's say the mean is around again 60 only. The mean is still around 60 somehow, but there are people who are scoring 60 and 30 both. So in that case, you can say the variance is more. There are like more variance. Right. Let's talk about like cricket. Let's talk about cricket. Sometimes cricket की discussion करनी चाहिए आप लोगों की वो energy बढ़ जाती. Talk about Sehwag. And now talk about Rishabh Pant. How are they playing? They if they'll play, they'll score like a good score. Okay, very good score. And then sometimes they'll just get out on 0, ऐसा करके 1, 10, less than 10 maybe out हो जाते हैं. Right? So it's like that. So these people are like they have a very high variance. बहुत कम स्कोर भी करते हैं, बहुत ज्यादा भी मतलब रन आ जाते हैं, लेकिन ओवरऑल एवरेज उनका लेट्स से अराउंड 80 है, let's say. But then there are some people, some players who are very consistent. अभी कौन चल रहा है consistent? I don't think कि कोई consistent चल रहा है. But let's say Rahul Dravid, ठीक है, पुराने player. Let's say Rahul Dravid. So he'll be consistently scoring around 100. Let's say 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. So all the scores are very close to that value. You'll need this idea in your general studies also. वो है ना general mathematics जो आता है, क्या है वो quants वाला, quants में this will be used. So now you can say this Rahul Dravid is again scoring, the average is still, let's say, around that 100 only. Sehwag ka average is also 100 only, but Sehwag is not consistent. So if you talk about consistency or if you talk about reliability, you'll say Rahul Dravid is more reliable and Sehwag is less reliable. Although sometimes he can score 400. So it's good. But still, if you'll say, see that the score coming from Rahul Dravid, so he's more consistent. The variance is less. The mean, let's say the mean is same, but the variance is less. So your variance, it is about the variation in your values, the spread. So sometimes it will be clustered about your mean. This is a low variance. I'm telling you because graph के terms में भी पूछते हैं, आपको कुछ भी पूछेंगे, graph आप तो आना ही चाहिए, like idea of it. So low variance, but then let's say it's scattered. Again, the mean is like somewhere around. So this is high variance. The word itself, variance, variability, right? So low variance and high variance should be clear. I say you will get questions on quants also and here also. Fine. So now if it is clear. Now then, of course, there is a formula for that, how to find it. So that to find it, you need to find the second moment, as a samajh lo, aage bata dunga. Second moment about your center. So what is the center? Center is your average value mu. Your expected value, which we are discussing, is actually represented by mu or E of X, like that. Now, so the variance is centered about your mu. So that's why you are doing x minus mu whole square. क्योंकि कुछ values mu के left side में भी हो सकती है, कुछ right में भी हो सकती है. तो positive negative ना हो, इसलिए जो भी है x minus mu negative है तो भी उसका square कर दो, positive है तो भी square कर दो. You should know this expansion. ठीक है, मैं आपके लिए छोड़ दे रहा हूँ. ये आपको आना चाहिए क्योंकि अभी एक दो like in last 1 or 2 years back, they had some question which was related to this, the expansion. So the expansion is x minus mu whole square will be x square minus 2 mu x plus mu square. Mu square is a constant, mu is also constant, and px is your density, right? And what is mu? It is summation of x times of p of x, correct? Now you see this, x square times of p of x is like, okay, this is a second moment, wo e of x square ho jayega. But 2 times of mu. So mu is a constant. So we are taking it outside your summation, and summation inside is xpx. What is xpx? It is mu. So this becomes 2 mu square, mu into mu. So this is 2 mu square. And this is mu square, again a constant, and p of x. So summation of p of x is just 1. ये value क्या है? Summation of p of x is 1. पढ़ा है ना? Density का summation क्या overall? तो 1 आएगा. So that becomes a mu square. So it is minus mu square. And what is mu square? So it is e of x square minus e of x whole square, because mu is e of x, like that. Okay. So this is how you find your variance. This is the formula. ये याद होना चाहिए, पिछला वाला भी याद होना चाहिए for stand. For expected value also you should remember, and for this also you should remember. Then what is standard deviation? Standard deviation is also a measure of variance, and it is given as sigma equal to under root of variance of x. So that becomes under root of e of x square minus e of x whole square, like that. Right? ये भी formula याद कर लो. And after that, transformation, some of the transformations which you should know, and you can relate it. See, transformation of mean and variance. Transformation means you are shifting it left, right, or maybe you're scaling it to some factor of 2 or a factor of 1/2, shifting it up or down, like that, all those things. So what happens if your new variable, is actually a1 plus a2 times of x? Yes, your original random variable was x, the mean was mu, and this variance was sigma square. So with this, if you have got a new variable, that new variable should have a new mean which can directly be said to be a1 plus a2 times of p. ये बिल्कुल relatable है. अगर आपने अपने values में सारे values में 5 से multiply कर दिया, तो ultimately आपका जो नया mean होता है वो भी 5 times ही निकलेगा. और अगर आपने, if you are like let's say adding a constant value to all the values, let's say you're adding 5 to all the outcomes, then ultimately your expected value will also move up by 5. Are you getting this? So this a1 is that value which is getting added, this a2 is that is getting multiplied. So that means your mu also should scale by the same factor a2, and then it should be shifted up or down depending on a1 negative or positive. But if you talk about variance, see, like I said, no, variance is the variability. So someone from, let's say, the second standard division was like they were scoring 30, 60, and 90 also. Now, if you add, let's say 10 in all these values, so that will become 40, 70, and 100. 40, 70, and 100. Earlier it was, like, let me write it. Earlier it was, let's say 30, 60, and 90. But now, like, each of them have been added with, like, let's say 10. So this become 40, 70, and 100. Still the variance will not change. So variance doesn't get affected by the fact of getting some, adding something. जो variance का nature अभी ऐसा था, वो बस आगे shift होकर अभी भी ऐसा ही रहेगा. It will just shift, right? Or sorry, it will shift up although. So it will not change. The variance will not change. It will have same nature like that. Mean change हो जाएगा. So अभी ये mean यहाँ आ रहा था, अब ये mean यहाँ आएगा. Fine. Let's say it was 60. Now it will be 70. The mean will change, but the variability will not change. Whereas if you do the scaling, so scaling will have effect of like raised to power of 2. So scaling, let's say if you're multiplying it with some positive, of course, a2 square है तो positive होगा. So your values will get more steep. आपकी values अगर किसी value से multiply हो जाएंगे तो वो steep हो जाते हैं, और high values हो गए ना, so it will get more steep values like that. Right? So these are also things which you should know. Second thing, you may need to find the expected value of some function of x also. So that is quite easy. Socho. I'll give you one example. Socho. It is x. The values you are taking is -1, 0, and 1. And then you have density, p of x. Let's say the density is 0.25, 0.5, and 0.25. Fine. Now you got another variable that is x square. So for x square, for -1 also you'll get 1, for 0 you'll get 0, and for 1 also you'll get 1 only. So do you see that for x square there are two of the values which will be same, x equal to 1. So in that case you can either add the density of both the cases, so that will be 0.25 plus 0.25, that is 1, and for 0 it will still remain as 0.5, like that. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, you can just do the summation of product of g of x. That means that function value, that function for that x, times of the density of x, not for x, like not for g of x, but the same density of x. Like यहाँ पर आप देखो x की x equal to -1 has a density of 0.25, x equal to 1 has also a density of 0.25. So overall, it's just get multiplied with that. So 0.25 for 1 also, like x square is now 1 and 1, 2 cases. Both the cases you are just adding it. So therefore you can say that the density will be 1. This is not equal to, but just 1, x equal to 1. Fine, that's it. And similarly, if it is continuous, you need to do the integration. So जो भी value x के बदले जो भी function आएगा, आप उस function को x से replace करते हैं. Only for x, not for the density. Density will not change for x. Again, if it is like, it behaves linearly. So if it is a times of g plus b times of h, you can do a times of expected value of g plus b times of expected value of h. These are something which is asked. ठीक है, ये सब पूछा जाता है. Kth moment. So kth moment is as simple as that. Kth moment list, like जैसे भी बताया ना, second moment is x square. First was x, so x cube, like that. So it's just that you need to replace again this x square, x cube are nothing but function of g x only. तो जैसा पिछले केस में g of x डालकर निकाला, वैसे ही यहाँ पे भी x की जगह x square x cube डालते जाओ और उसकी लिमिट्स निकालते जाओ. That's it. It is as like it's similar to what we have already done. So k equal to 1 gives you first moment. Second thing is kth central moment. So central moment is about mean. So mean से कुछ values left, कुछ values right होंगी, है ना, अलग-अलग values होंगी x y axis पर. So depending on that, like some of the values could be on the left, could be on the right, but still you consider the distance. Therefore, you raise it to like square and like that. So k equal to 2 is for the distance where x minus mu square is done. जो अभी हमने देखा है. Also, x and y being any random variable. So it random variable which is continuous, discrete, or independent or dependent, doesn't matter. Continuous, discontinuous, independent, dependent, anything. But still, if you have expected value of 2 variables, you can directly write as sum of the expectation of 2 variables. And this applies to any number of us. Fine. This doesn't go well with your variance, but for expectation, like the variables may not be independent, even then you can just add them. Okay, expectation add कर सकते हैं. For x and y being independent random variable, only for independent random variable, you can say expected value of x, y should be product of expected value of x and y. It will be of use. ये आगे काम आएगा. Only for independent. Now, the value of variance is always positive. छोटी-छोटी चीजें जो याद रखो. Variance negative नहीं होता. Zero variance का मतलब क्या हो गया? It is a distribution, even distribution, equal distribution or even distribution. तभी तो कोई variance नहीं है. Fine. Variance of x plus y is actually given as variance of x plus variance of y plus 2 covariance of xy. We'll see what is covariance. So this variance of x plus y cannot be directly given by this expression. But when your variance, when your x and y will be independent, this covariance will become 0. Then you can say variance of x plus variance of y, right? So covariance of x, y, we'll see. We'll see that. So variance of x plus y will be variance of x and variance of y only if this is independent. Otherwise, it has one more factor, which is covariance. Covariance is like the dependency or the relation of variability in each other, like that. And a positive, negative covariance देखो क्या अगर आपको जरूरत पड़े. A high value of variance results when the x is spread on a long term. ये तो बता ही दिया है ना. ऐसा किया तो high variance, ऐसा किया तो low variance. This is low, this is high. ये तो बता दिया. Fine. Okay. We'll discuss something more if required. Now let's see some of the questions जो अभी छोड़ा था. Let's start with this one. Machine produces 0, 1, 2 defective. ऐसा करो फटाफट इसके एक टेबल बनाना स्टार्ट करो. If you see something like that, x 0, 1 and 2. Then the density. This is 1 by 6. This is 2 by 3. This is 1 by 6. The mean and this. Okay, fine. This is your probability density table. Okay, probability density table. Fine. Mean. निकालो आप लोग साथ में निकालो. E of x is discrete है ना, summation of x p of x. So 0 times of 1 by 6 plus 1 times of 2 by 3 plus 2 times of 1 by 6, like that. 2 by 3, 1 by 3, 1. मेरे को तो 1 है. 1 is correct, but they are also asking for variance. तो इन दोनों में से कोई ऑप्शन होने वाला है. वेरिएंस के लिए आपको सेकेंड मोमेंट भी निकालना पड़ेगा. तो 0 स्क्वायर टाइम्स ऑफ 1 by 6 प्लस 1 स्क्वायर टाइम्स ऑफ 2 by 3 plus 2 square times of 1 by 6. So that will be 2 by 3 plus 2 by 3. So that's 4 by 3. So option A is correct. Thank you. So your variance sigma square लिख लो, should be E of x square minus square of E of x. So that should be 4 by 3 minus 1 square, which is 1 by 3. So option is correct. A में expected value आ गया. This is your expected value. This is your variance. These are the two values they're expecting, like asking for. Right? So this is like 1 or 2 marks per question, and like that you'll get such questions. Clear, everybody? एक बार yes बोल दो. Yes. Is it clear? Yes, yes. Yes तो सारे लोग बोल सकते हैं. Yes, yes, good. अच्छा, आप लोगों का कीबोर्ड काम करता है, आंसर नहीं देता बस. और 2-3 लोग कहाँ चले गए, कुछ दिख रहे थे अभी. थैंक यू. चलो, गुड, थैंक यू. ठाकुर, यादव, हाँ जी, सबको थैंक यू. चलो, ओके, फाइन. सो दिस इज क्लियर. गुड. नाउ लेट्स सी दिस वन. This question they are asking for standard deviation. So of course you'll have to find your variance and then square root of that. Can you quickly do this? Like of course इसमें कुछ है नहीं, सिर्फ square root of variance करना है, right? You'll find E of x. I can tell you what you have to find. Quickly, like do it. बस अब इसमें कुछ है नहीं. और discrete है तो ये और अच्छी बात है. Find E of x, summation of x p of x. Find E of x square, summation of x square p of x, and then find variance. So like subtraction, E of x square minus square of E of x. And once done, this is sigma will be square root of variance. I'll do it with you now. थोड़ा करता हूँ मैं. 1 times of 0.3 plus 2 times of 0.6 plus 3 times of 0.1. So 0.3, 1.2, 1.5, and then 0.3. So this is 1.8. D is correct. Thank you. That's correct. X square निकाला तो 1 square 0.3, 2 square directly 0.4 times of 6 and 9 times of 0.1. So this is 0.3, 2.4. So 2.7 and then 0.9. So this should be 3.6. So this is 3.6 minus 1.8 square. 0.6. This is 0.36. So this is square root of 0.36, which is 0.6. Correct. D is the right answer. Thank you. Thank you. सही बताया आपने भी. Fine, that's it. So this is what you'll get. Okay, these are 14 का क्वेश्चन है, although ये बहुत नया तो नहीं है, 2014 का क्वेश्चन. Okay, no problem. This is already done. This is done. Okay, do this one. ये वाला करिए, कुछ है नहीं इसमें. The only thing which is important is that as per the limit you can see it is 0 to 2. That means it is continuous random variable. So you'll have to do the integration. So if you're looking for expected value, you should do the integration. Now since it is defined only for 0 to 2, do the integration from 0 to 2 for f of x dx. Then do e of x. They are only asking for mean value. बस इससे ज़्यादा कुछ करना ही नहीं. बस mean ही तो पूछा है. So e of x will be 0 to 2x by, ये constant है 4 outside ले ले रहा हूँ, 4 minus x square dx. इसको integrate कर तो value आ जाएगी. Let me see if I have some good question. And one more thing, एक बार find this value. I say like I'm not disturbing you. 1.0067. Let's just check. That's correct. That's correct. Anybody else? Okay, we'll see that. वो last में correlation और वो देख लेंगे. Okay, that's correct answer. This is integration which you can do if you want me to do. So 4x का integration हो गया, 2x square and 4 तो बाहर में है, minus x cube का हो गया, minus x power 4 by 4 और ये 1 by 4 outside ही है. 0 to 2 डालना है. तो 0 में सबको 0 है, 2 में ये 8 minus, सही कर रहा हूँ, 4x का तो 2x square हो गया, x cube का तो x square 4 हो गया. ठीक है. और 2 डाला तो -16 और -16 by 4, so that's -4. कुछ गलत किया क्या?
सर फॉर्मूला में x मल्टीप्लाई होगा ना.
थैंक यू. ये तो लिखा ही नहीं मैंने, x f of x. ओके, तो यहाँ पर भी एक ये x square हो जाएगा. दैट्स इट. तो ये इंटीग्रेशन. ओके, आई फॉरगॉट दैट x हियर. So that means this should be 1 by 4. This should be outside only. X square है तो 4x cube by 3 और x to the power of 4 है तो x to the power of 5 by 5. Now this is fine. 0 to 2. So 1 by 4 is outside only. 0 के लिए सब कुछ 0. 2 के लिए this should be 8 324 by 3, which is 8 only, and 32 by 5. That should be one more 4 here. Okay, that's common. I have written 24 here. 32 maybe. That's correct. 1.0667. Right? So बस कैलकुलेशन था, कुछ है नहीं इसमें. ये अगर आपका करेक्ट हो जाए तो ये बना लिया, ये बना लिया. Okay, we started with this question. Now we need to finish it. So for q equal to 0.4, your density table should be 0.4 for x equal to 0. You can see it here. And it should be 0.6 for x equal to 1, and it should be otherwise 0. That's it. Now you are looking for the variance. So of course, you should start, and of course, it is discrete. So let's say the values which you are having is x equal to 0, x equal to 1. So this is p of x, this is 0.4, this is 0.6. That's it. So expected value, summation of x p of x, which should be 0 times of 0.4 plus 1 times of 0.6. That should be simply 0.6. Second thing, अगर आप square निकाल रहे हैं, ये x square, it should be summation of x square p of x. So that's like 0 square to 0 square ही हो जाएगा, 0.4 plus 1 square भी नहीं होगा. So that's also 0.6. Now if you're looking for variance, it should be 0.6 minus 0.6 square. So 0.6 minus 0.36, and that should be 0.24. So this value needs to be 0.24 if I'm right. That's correct. 0.24 is the right answer. Right? Kuch nahi hai, discrete value, but ye hai, you need to construct your probability density table as per the value of Q in this case. Right? It depends, the density depends on the value of Q. That's it. This is how you have to like recreate it. Fine, and then it's just a formula. We're done with this. Done with this. Mean value. So you can do this, of course. We'll see that. This is done. This is okay. Do this one. First ये वाला कर लेते हैं. Let's do this one. So it says that x and y are random variables. E of 2x plus y should be 0, and E of x plus 2y should also be 33. So like we have already seen कि x और y जो होगा, आपने देखा ना दी, एक expression देखा था हमने, वो था a times of g of x plus b times of f of x, let's say. So you can say this is a times of expected value of g of x plus b times of expected value of f of x, है ना? और आपने ये भी देखा था कि expected value of x plus y can directly be written as expected value of x plus expected value of y. So it doesn't depend whether the variables are independent or dependent or discrete or continuous. It doesn't depend on that. So can I just say this is 2 times of, and instead of expected value of x, can I write mu x? That is what you generally see. 11, 11, 11. 11 is correct, I guess. I don't have the answer, but it's correct. I hope you are doing it correctly. So 2 mu x plus mu y. आपका वो आंसर देखते हुए मैं भूल गया क्या कर रहा था. Thank you, but plus 2 mu y वो लोग बता दिया तो भी दिक्कत है. Right, that's it. Thank you. 11 is correct. So what are you looking for? The sum of it. So you need to just you need to find mu x and mu y separately. So let's say this is one equation. This is second equation. So if you do 1 minus 2, सबका बन जा रहा है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. 2 mu x minus mu x will become mu x. चाहिए नहीं, 2 times subtract कर लेते हैं, या फिर तीनों को ऐड कर लोगे तो भी हो जाएगा. Let's say you're doing 1 minus 2 times of 2. This will give you the answer. So 2 mu x cancel. Mu minus 2 times of it. So that will be minus 3 mu y equal to 0 minus 66. ऐसा. So mu y will become 3 से क्या ना? ऐड ही कर दो क्या एक बार? ऐसे भी आ जाना चाहिए 2 mu y 3 mu y is correct and this is okay. Okay, so this is how much mu y is 22. अभी इसको वापस डाला तो 2 mu x plus 22 should be 0. So mu x becomes 20 minus 22 by 2, which is minus 11. So mu x plus mu y, thank you, should be minus 11 plus 22, which is 11. Good, 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 good. आप लोगों ने सबने बनाया? Okay. Now there is one question. ये थोड़ा लंबा है, मैं इसको लास्ट में करना चाहता हूँ और इसमें कुछ है नहीं. Like there is no better way of doing it. So far I see. So I'll see this. Let's see something. Yeah, you can do this. Let me get you one more question. Try this and let me get you something better. Otherwise, we'll continue with discrete random variability. We'll need one session for mean, median, mode, and joint probability. Yes. To this one, 6 fair dice is rolled a large number of times the mean value of the outcome. So mean value क्या है? 3.5. Mean value a large is rolled a large number of times. अभी fair dice है तो सबकी probability same होगी. So that's like 21.6 only, ना 3.5. That's correct. मतलब नॉर्मली सबका प्रोबेबिलिटी चूंकि सेम है इसलिए डायरेक्टली 2.5 ही आ 3.5 आ जाएगा. और अगर आप चाहो तो उस फॉर्मूला के फॉलो करोगे ऐसा तो सबकी प्रोबेबिलिटी सेम है तो 1 times of 1/6 plus 2 times of 1/6 जो मैंने शायद शुरू में बना भी दिया था क्वेश्चन ऐसे वहां पे भी वही निकाला था जो यहाँ पर है ऐसे ही बना दिया था वो तो सेम है. It is 21/6 which is 3.5. That's it, clear. This is okay, no problem with that. Fine, this is correct. ऐसा what you're saying is correct and like I actually did it. ऐसा कुछ बिना सोचे ही कर दिया वहाँ पर और ये क्वेश्चन निकला है. I didn't know that. Fine. Subconsciously होगा दिमाग में, I don't know. F of x, g of x are two probability density function. Let's see that if I should solve it. Otherwise solve करने लायक नहीं होगा तो क्यों करो. क्वेश्चन है ये आपके गेट का ही क्वेश्चन है बट क्यों है ये मैं नहीं समझ पाता कभी कभी. इतना टाइम टेकिंग क्वेश्चन है. x by a plus 1 minus a से बड़ा you just need to find the mean and variance and that's it. इसमें आप कुछ कर नहीं सकते. Fine, and then you can compare it like which of the following statement is true. So they are talking about of mean and variance both. So you'll have to find mean and variance for both the cases and that's it. It's just a long question and I don't find any better way of doing it. So I don't like this. ऐसे कुछ better way मिलता है तो मुझे मजा आता है. So this is for this range, this is for this range. तो बस वही करना सब integration करना continuous है तो that's it. Let's not discuss this. अब try करना है ऐसा. Same 2 marks का क्वेश्चन है but time ज्यादा लगता है. So I think there should be a better way. कभी देखूंगा मैं इसको थोड़ा ध्यान से. Let me give you one question. I think you should do this one. F of x has a density being 1 for 0 to 1 and 0 otherwise. Fine. So you need to find the expected value of e to the power of x. This is density. Fine. So this is one question which I want you to do it. और इसके अलावा Do this one. इसके अलावा एक क्वेश्चन शायद मैं और करूं. Expected value of e to the power of x will simply become continuous है. E to the power of -1. Let me check. E -1. हाँ, E -1 is correct. ऐसा कुछ आया तो सही है. Okay, you want to put a decimal? ठीक है, वो भी देख लेते हैं. That is also fine. 1. आपने गलत निकाला है. It should be 1.718. चेक करो एक बार. So it is like correct. So it is like right. Fine. Thank you. So अब बना लिया तो बना ही लिया. 0 to 1. इसके लिए 1 है तो सिंपल है, कुछ इंटीग्रेशन करनी है बस. E to the power of x with the limit 0 to 1. So e to the power of 1 minus e to the power of 0, which is e to the power of e minus 1. That's it. This is simply 1.718. Are you guys all getting? जिनको नहीं बना उनको तो समझ में आया ना? श्रीमंत. Okay, so this is it. That's it. एक simple question था ये हालांकि. ये है वो no. Fine. So this is about the general thing, like general questions which you'll get in these cases. But now that we have got 5 more minutes, let me discuss something about the next topic, which is discrete continuous discrete random variable. So let me just start with a discussion. Small discussion कर लेते हैं. I hope आपने उधर सब कुछ सही से बना दिया होगा. This is about first, like we'll have 2-3 discrete, जिसमें से binomial distribution is one of it. This is your discrete distribution. So binomial distribution में क्या हो रहा है? You can have either success or failure, right? And there are things which is required here, that you should have success or failure, only 2 of the outcomes. So whatever is not a success is failure. Let's say आप बोलोगे सर dice throw करते हैं तो उसमें 1 2 3 4 5 6 सब आते हैं और मेरा सक्सेस है 6 आना. इसका मतलब है ये 6 को छोड़ के जो भी आया वो सब फेलियर हो गए. तो आप इन सबको एक ही इवेंट की तरह देखो, वो इवेंट है फेलियर. सो फेलियर का रेट यहाँ पे 5/6 हो गया और सक्सेस का रेट यहाँ पर 1/6 हो गया. दिस इज हाउ यू शुड अप्रोच. थिंक ऑफ एवरीथिंग बीइंग ईदर इन द कैटेगरी ऑफ सक्सेस और फेलियर. सो ऑल दीज 1 2 3 4 5 कम्स इन द कैटेगरी ऑफ फेलियर, लाइक दैट. ऐसा करके देखना. और सो यू नीड टू हैव ओनली 2 आउटकम्स. 2 outcomes, rate of success, I should say, should be same, and that there should be finite number of trials. Finite number of trials और कुछ है? And yes, trials are independent. Of course, rate of success same है तो वो भी कह सकते हैं. Trials are independent. Sorry. Trials are independent. You have seen it, no? Like if you toss a coin, first coin toss किया वो, second toss is also independent from the first one, third is independent from the second and first both, like that. ऐसा करके देखो. So there should be only 2 outcomes, success and failure, like I already said, and the rate of success should be same. Finite number of trials are independent. If this is fine, the next thing is, like in that case, let's say N is for number of trials, R is for number of success you want, and P is rate of success, Q is rate of failure. In that case, जो probability distribution or yeah, probability of obtaining X success, X is like that number of success. जो R आपको बताया ना वही है. will be f of x equal to r is that same thing, ncx p to the power of x times of q to the power of n minus x. ये आपको याद रखना है ऑफ कोर्स, आप 11 12 में आपने ये पढ़ा होगा, शायद ये एक्सप्रेशन पढ़ा हुआ होगा। अब यहाँ पे क्या ध्यान रखना है, एक और चीज, जो आपकी एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू होती है दैट इज म्यू is n times of p in this case and like it is otherwise 0. किसके लिए 0 है? ये आपकी जो वैल्यू है x की वो 0 1 2 का कहां तक जाएगी, n तक जाएगी। ऐसा नहीं कि ये n+1 के लिए अप्लाई हो जाएगा, n तक ही ये अप्लाई होगा, n से ज्यादा या 0 से कम होगी उसके लिए जो डेंसिटी है वो 0 होती है। एक्सपेक्टेड वैल्यू इज डायरेक्टली n times of p, वेरिएंस that is sigma square is npq. I think this is all about this. इसके साथ और कुछ अभी बताने की जरूरत है। So this is about your binomial distribution. हम कल नहीं परसों हाइपरज्योमेट्रिक और पॉइजन भी इसी में आता है। एक्सपोनेंशियल तो कंटिन्यूस में हो जाएगा और यूनिफॉर्म भी कंटिन्यूस में हो जाएगा। नॉर्मल इज आल्सो कंटिन्यूस एंड लाइकवाइज। सो मे बी 1 or 2 more this one. So अगर like if we try next, let's see, next 2 sessions में आपको probability खत्म हो जाएगा because you have like few more things to come. So that will be all for today. Okay guys, आपको ये brief दे दिया मैंने binomial पे, so that in the next session we will directly start solving the question. Thank you everyone. Thank you.